Welcome to readtheticker.com. Richard Wyckoff logic is a study of price and volume, and applying it in real time can get a lot of folks confused. Because in truth, to understand price and volume, you have to go beyond Richard Wyckoff and reread the readings of Richard Ney to understand how volume and price and the merchandising operation of the professionals work together. Here I've summarised some pretty much givens understanding volume. After a period of price depreciation, high volume is demand. After a period of price appreciation, high volume is supply. After a dull period, maybe going sideways or what have you, price breaks out of resistance. This advances demand. After a dull period and price breaks support for a decline, this can be supply. But I've got an asterisk saying there is that sometimes price can go up and down through resistance with no change in volume. That's simply because there's no objections for the professionals to allow this price to rise or fall. But if you do get an increase in demand, it's because those who are on the wrong side when it breaks support or resistance realise they are on the wrong side and are adjusting their accounts to get ready for the trend. Rising price with rising volume supported only when you have the swings down of lesser volume. This shows professionals are marking out price and they're not willing to sell when the price swings down. So they're gathering volume, there's a bit of a sell-off, there's a low volume sell-off and prices are going up. This is because prices are going up, it's attracting the attention of others, people are getting on board, it's made a few gains, there's a bit of a dip, no one's selling, so it goes up higher. Once again, the price is falling and volume increases and there's a rally, but there's no real volume in it. That means people are shorting, there's a bit of a bounce, they're not covering their shorts, and they load the volume up as it goes down because a lot more people are getting on the train and enjoying the trend down. But the only reason why you can consider that demand or supply in each case is that the test of the low volume suggests it to be so. If the test is not of low volume, then other things are going on. You may be getting a automatic reaction or something on high volume, which means the trend's about to end. Because once again, as I said above, a breakout from resistance or support can be on low volume without any resistance, and prices can just fall. Price can actually rise or fall for a period of time on low volume. It can actually extend for weeks or months and can still go in high, and people are saying, but this is no demand or there's no supply. They can rise because, quite frankly, the professionals have no objections for it to be different. If they want price to go up and it doesn't cost them very much in volume, they'll let it go up. It might gap up, it might just trickle up, and there's just no one selling. So therefore, the path of least resistance takes it higher or takes it lower. So low volume moves up or down is simply because the professionals allow it to be so and no one's objecting. So understand price and volume. I've read a lot of Richard Wyckoff stuff, I've studied the stuff, and it really didn't click until I understood the merchandising operations as worded by Richard Ney. So let's have a look at a chart to highlight these and point some more. So here we have a monthly chart of Netflix. And it goes all the way back to, 2004 to 2017. I've got a typical RSI in here. I've got a volume weighted indicator and a copy cock curve indicator, just to show the power of the swings. I've got a volume indicator, which is just the purple yellow one, showing where the high and low volume is. It's just to show if you've got high volume, you have to explain it. If you've got low volume, you have to explain it. And then we've got another volume indicator, which is coloured based on where the close is in the future. So if you've got a red bar, that means it closed low in the future. If you've got a blue bar, that means it closed higher in the future. And we've got a monthly chart of high-low close with red are down bars and blue are up bars. So let's talk about the volume story here in relation to Wyckoff, Ney, and how I understand the merchandising operations. Well, as you can see here, I think 2004 we had a bit of a rise up here, lots of volume coming. And then we had this extended period of gain, looks like about 6 years. And then all of a sudden, the company did well and the volume increased. A bit of a dip there and keep on going up. What this actually was, people had done some accumulation here It went dull because they're holding on to their positions. Price began to rise. Some folks got on board here who hadn't got on board back down there. But as price continued to rise, whoops, supply came into the market as folks sell them at higher prices. Well, why not? They purchased here, it must be $5, and they probably sold on an average of 30. So that was good business, good profit, 3 or 4 times your money in there. And obviously, after those who wished to sell sold, some news came in, smashed the price down, and as you can see here, those who accumulated there, marked up here and sold there, said, "Well, I'd like to buy back at the same price." So as volume smashed down, accumulated down here. So I think this is a gap. So price fell, volume goes up. That is accumulation. That is demand. We had there's obviously a bit of short covering because that's why that popped up and then cleared the short covering. Price came down again. More accumulation going on here. This is purely demand. As you can see, the high volume. It's going down. But it's not going down below the lows. So that is accumulation. So that's was the Wyckoff law of effort versus results. So we have all this volume down here, but the price isn't going there. There's got to be accumulation. It's buying. So then we have a situation where from a low, price breaks up. See, this is breaking up, breaks through the resistance on high volume, but it's from a low. So people, this is purely demand because what's actually happening is here, people see it starting to move. Big bar up there. Doesn't sell down, goes up. People who missed out on the accumulation start to get in a bit late and they start buying here. People who are short reversing their positions and turn to the buy side. Now, why wasn't that supply? Well, for a chance, I would say because it came off a low and all the selling had been finished down here because it went dull. The people who were selling stuff, they were shorting and selling, they exhausted the selling here. So we had good accumulation from here to there, and as you can see, this is just a whole demand picture. Demand and accumulation is great when all this supply and shorts are done, and the markup process is clear to be marked up without any frustration from supply. Okay, we have a little test here. Low volume, no one's interested, so it still gets marked up rather cheaply. Now here's what you have to understand. Here's a bit of a Richard Ney thinking. If you're a professional and you've accumulated 10 million shares of Netflix over a, I don't know, 6-8 month basis, and you know it's going to go high, and you want to sell it up here, so this is the markup process, this is the cause and effect. If you're going to accumulate 10 million shares, you'd rather sell 10 million shares up there. But as a merchandising process, no, to get the price from here to there, you've got to mark it up and you've got to battle some supply on the way up. So out of that 10 million shares, you might use 2 million shares along with other professionals executing the markup. So you actually buy your 10 million shares here, executing, you're losing 2 million shares along the way, and if you're lucky, you can sell your 8 million shares up here. What you don't want to have to do is buy your $10 million share, 10 million shares down here and use 8 million shares, getting the price up there and only selling your 2 million shares up there. What you really want is you want a markup process that doesn't cost you the world. So you purchase your stock down here, you're marking it up, no one's getting in the way, supply isn't forcing you to sell, get the price up, because if supply comes in, you've got to battle supply. If you're a person who's accumulated, supply comes in, you've got to battle it by losing your float. So ideally the merchandising process is I buy down there, I want to sell up there with as much float that I purchased down there. Okay, so that's easy. So there we have it. Then we have some news and a bit of distributions going on up here, and we get a period of dullness. As you can see, the little yellow bar. Where the hell's that yellow bar? There. So we get a mark up there and get some dullness here. So what actually happened here? We have the blue bar is actually demand, even though it looks a bit dodgy, but the dullness here supports this demand. And then as price goes higher, other folks get on board. And then you can see the supply coming, these big bars here. Some supply comes in there. Now, it does not matter these bars are lesser than these bars, because we're only comparing this supply to the demand that came in before, right? We're not comparing this supply to the demand down here. We're comparing that supply of that at this point to the most immediate demand. So people come in and they start selling some stuff, and we get another period of accumulation here. So we get some, as the volume fell down, you can see that. High volume, it's accumulation. Law of effect versus the result. Where volume or not, it's not going down. Once again, we're comparing this here. And we get a markup process, which is pretty much what actually happens. There's a gap up here. Now, people say, well, why is that going up in low volume? That's because the professionals have got nobody in the way to give supply to stop it. Pretty much everyone in the market, the bears know it's going up, so they stand aside. The bulls want it up to sell to, so they're not getting in the way. They let the price go up, and eventually the bears will say, right, this is it. We'll start loading up on shorts, and they'll create a volume at a higher level. So the markup process between here and here has little objection. So price can rally on low volume. It may be considered bearish because of the low volume. Those people who wish to sell become the crowd. They become the large trade. So eventually market goes up and the buyers seem to be less, and one day the crowd who've got lots of stock float will say, I want to start selling this. So yes, this trend is vulnerable, and eventually those who want to sell, it will be greater than those who want to buy, and the price will fall. But at this point in time, the reason why price got from there to there is because nobody objected, because those with the stock float are saying, I know it's going higher, let's not get in the way, let's wait till it gets up there, and then I'll start selling. Those who are brought down here want it up as fast as possible, so they actually created a gap because it's less expensive of them to mark the price up, so they can sell higher. So eventually it will come a day, I don't know when it is, where those who wish to sell are greater than those who wish to buy, and the volume will come in. That's a quick understanding of price and volume relative to the merchandising operations. To learn about this, you really must read what you can about Richard Ney and how he described the role of the specialist, which is now the market maker, and how they manage the stocks, volume and price along its path. Thank you very much for watching.